Hello guys, today I'm going to show you guys how to draw the side view of the body of an anime girl. So let's get started. First off, let's draw a vertical line for the center of the character and where the character is going to be. And then let's draw two horizontal lines for the top and the bottom of the character. You guys can see this line? Yes. Try to fit the character into this camera. Maybe I should move this a little bit upwards so that you guys can see it better. Okay, and then of course we're gonna divide it by 2. I've gone through this like 1,000 times showing you guys how to draw the body of an anime character, and it's also really hard for me to measure them by eyes because my head can't be right on top of the camera. Is this correct? Okay. Now let's divide the last one by 2. This one is not so important. I'm not gonna do the hand measuring thing. I'm gonna divide it by 3. Again, not that important. I will look at the camera and it looks okay, so it's okay. So it's self-explanatory, but I'm gonna just tell you guys that this section is gonna be a head, and that means this character is gonna be 6 heads tall. So of course you could have gone for 7 heads tall, but then you have to divide the upper half. Divide the whole height of the character by 7, which do not have the same line as the center of the body. Therefore, you will have to make another line there and divide this one by 2, and then divide this, and then it's complicated, but it's possible. But don't need to explain anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how to draw the head. Of course, I'm not going to go into the details now because I have another video on how to draw the side view of the head. So I'm just going to be quick and show you guys how the shape should look like this. And of course, it should be on the center of the body, on this line. And by the way, this line is so unclear. Why do I have 2 lines for it? It's that one. And for maybe I should move the head a little bit forwards. I don't know. Probably okay. Not that important. Of course, this is just a sketch now. The head is not gonna look like that in the end. Okay, so now for the hardest part. This is the hardest part, in my opinion, to get the shape of the body correct. Okay, so basically what I think of is that there should be a curve like this, and not much, but a small curve like this, and I should just go towards the left, downwards, pretty much straight, and then at the end around here, around the center of this, I don't know, of these 2 lines, just curve outwards again to make the bottom. Is that called a bottom? Yeah, it is. Okay, so for this one, it should follow this line, maybe a little bit more. It depends on how much breast you want to give your character, how large it should be. I personally don't like to draw as large as some anime do because I think it's so unnatural and it's not very beautiful also. So I'm just gonna go with something pretty normal, pretty realistic. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So for this one, a slight curve, almost insignificant. You can't almost see it. You almost can't see it. I'm sorry, guys. And then of course another curve, kind of another curve. If you guys can see that there's a start of another curve there, but it's not that important. What's important is to just get the shape correct, in general, because this is just a sketch. Unless you want to draw your character naked, of course. But, in what situation would you want to do that? Actually, sometimes we want to do that, but not much. Okay, so again, I could have drawn, rectangles, but I'm just gonna give him some. Him is a her. I'm gonna give her, you know, the shape of the leg, like this. So I've gone through this again, but I'm just gonna say to you guys again, there's a muscle there, and it just curved to be, you know, thinner and thinner. And for this part, it's just basically a straight line. No, not a straight line. It curves actually a little bit outwards, but here a little bit like that, a little bit like this. Okay, and for this one, just curve like this. I don't know, maybe even straight. You could curve like this depending on how much fat the character has on the thigh. Now for the foot. And of course I forgot that the knee should be a little bit higher than where the line is. So I'm just gonna move everything a little bit upwards like this. And then the ankle is gonna be here. So of course the height, the length between these two lines is gonna be the half of the length between these two lines. The half, the half, the half, yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let's go up again and look at it. Pretty good. Now what we're lacking is of course the arms. The arms does not start from the side, is in the middle, but it's a little bit to the side. You can see that on this line. It's to the right of these lines, so basically your shoulder is a little bit, on the back side of your body. Giving it some slight shape, but not really a realistic one. But once again, this is just a sketch, of course. And when you draw the clothes on, because of the fabric, all the shape is gonna be less, clear. So the lines is gonna be, smoother and straighter. It does not have the shape as much anymore, even if it's tight one. Unless it's really really tight clothes. So how do I know how large the hands are is to just compare it to the face of the character. I think it should be around here, but of course it depends a lot on the style. Some anime have really small hands, some anime have really large hands. But my way is to be around there, around the height of the face. Of course I don't go ahead and measure it with my hand. It's just with the eyes. And I'm not going to go into details on how to draw the hands because I have a video on how to do so. So make sure you check that one out. Now, of course, you can see that it covered a little bit of the curve, but that's okay. Sometimes I want to move the hands a little bit away so that you guys can see the curve. But whatever. Now let's just zoom out and see if everything is alright. I'm just gonna move myself up a little bit. Okay, there. That is very good. Now the only thing that I'm not satisfied with is the neck. It's a little bit too thick. Okay, so now let's go into the details. And by the way, there is still something wrong with it. Because I made it a little thinner, I kind of see, that it is not as good here. Okay, everything just kind of got worse suddenly. Okay, around there, let's just leave it like that. I'm actually going to just go ahead and draw in the shape of the face. Now I have a video on how to draw the side view of the face of an anime girl. Make sure you check that one out, because it's really hard to go into details on everything in one single video. But okay, so basically what you do is to get this shape right. That's actually the most important thing. And then makes everything narrower, a little bit narrower. And the eyebrow also narrower. And for the hair, I'm going to give her, I don't know, yeah, just plain long hair. But I'm not gonna apply them just yet. Or maybe on the head, but not on the body, because I have to draw the things on beneath the hair, which is gonna be the clothes. Okay, this one look a little bit strange. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my illusion, just my fantasy. I don't know how to say it. But let's go ahead and give her a t-shirt. I'm gonna give her a very normal one, very normal t-shirt. I'm actually gonna move her shoulder up a little bit, because I think actually I'm gonna move her chin a little bit downwards. No, just gonna make it stay there. But I think I drew the neck a little bit too long. Somehow I have to fix it, by moving the shoulder up a little bit. Yeah, around there. That's probably enough. Okay, so the t-shirt is not gonna be very tight. It's not gonna be very loose either. It's just gonna be very simple. And so I have a video on how to draw, the creases. So basically, because I just said it is gonna be a t-shirt. A t-shirt has kind of a soft fabric, so it follows the shape of the body quite well, and also it's not very tight, not very loose, I've said. So the creases should be, not very much, not very little, and the bumps should be not very small and not very large. and I'm just showing her, arm now, so I have to give her arm the kind of, shape, something like that. Okay, so for her leg, I'm going to give her jeans. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep very, if many things very ordinary. It's really hard to think and draw at the same time. Okay, but of course you can see that this, the sketch lines is not perfect, so sometimes you don't have to follow it, very, very, don't follow it very much. Now, if you see something wrong, change it. The shoes are a little bit too small. Gonna increase its size a little bit. Yeah, there. Pretty good. Now let's go up again and look at this girl. And of course we will have to make the hands a little bit clearer. It's basically a mess now. And I'm actually gonna, this one, I don't know why, but it looked a little bit strange. I'm actually gonna make it a little bit smaller, the breast of this girl. Maybe a little bit larger again, but not as large as it was. I'm just gonna erase that bump. Just gonna make it really flat there. Yeah, something like that. Pretty good. Now we are back to, the hair. Of course, we're gonna be done with the hair. So for the hair, what you basically do is to just draw everything following your body. See that? The shoulders dividing the hair. I hope you guys can see that. By the way, I'm just gonna erase this part of the body of the sketch. And I'm going to erase this part. No, just leave it like that. And for something for this one, for the hair in front of the ear, in front of the ear, yeah. Not gonna give her very long hair as I've been giving to girls in my tutorials, I think. And of course, should be some strands of hair on top of the arm. One strand of hair on top of the arm. And Hope you guys can see this mess, but this is really a mess. Okay, this is getting, worse and worse. Let me just finish off the ear. I mean the eyes, or the one eye. Okay, now let's look at the thing from above. Let's look at the whole body. Of course, we have to erase some of the lines, some of the guidelines. And let me just make everything a little bit clearer using, I think I should use something harder. A 4B is pretty okay. Yes, just gonna use a 4B. By the way, I'm actually just gonna change the pencil. Yeah, a 4B. 4B pencil, a pencil that's much harder. First time I'm doing this, I think. Normally, when I draw a body, I just leave it, with all the guidelines on and stuff. But this time, I think it looked a little bit like a mess. There's so much lines going on, so I feel like I have to, use this one to make it, make all the strokes harder, stronger, and clearer. And by the way, when you're doing this, when you're doing the inking, or just using a really hard and sharp pencil to make the lines bolder, you should remember to try to make the line as thin as possible. But of course, you should use those, if sometimes some lines have to be thick and some lines should be thin, but in general, try to make them thinner than how you are able to. And don't, draw it again and again. It's gonna make it look like a mess. Now for the face of the character. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Now I don't even know what that line should mean, but whatever. As long as it does not ruin my drawing. And if you guys have noticed, I told you guys to not draw it many times, retrace the lines many times, but I still do it. That's because it's hard. It's hard to do everything in one line. Of course, the more experienced inkers, they are able to, do it in one line. But it's okay even if you do it several times, because as long as it looks good in the end, it should be okay. Now I'm just gonna use an HB pencil, do the shading. Of course, it's been 25 minutes now, almost 26 minutes. So I'm gonna be quick on this. So of course, that's everything I do. I mean, that's the thing I always do. Give it a black hair. No, I'm not being racist or whatever. I just really love black hair or dark hair. And now for the jeans, I'm actually gonna also give it a shade. And I'm also gonna give it this line on the side of the jeans. And if possible to see at all, I'm gonna give her things like this. A pocket on the butt and a pocket on the side. Yeah, it's just minimal things. And I'm gonna shade below the creases. And I'm gonna shade behind the arm, I mean the hand. And shade behind the arm on the shirt and the t-shirt. Shade on the folds. And shade on this part. Shade on that part. Shade on the ear, on the inside of the ear. Oh, now you guys can see. Oh, I'm sorry guys, went out of the camera again, but it's just like that. But this is a mess. I'm gonna redraw the lines and shade it slightly like that. And what else could I be doing? Some shades there, some shades here. And of course the shoes. Actually, there should be a line of white on the bottom if I'm able to fit it in. The shoes are so small now, and my strokes are so thick now. It's really hard to fit in. No, but it's not that important. The main focus is the body, and we are actually done. Now, hope you guys did it well, and hope you guys learned something new. And this is a requested video after I've done the tutorials on how to draw the body of a male character. So I'm actually gonna, next video most likely I'm going to do the 3/4 view of a female character. And yes, I will be back with that video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.